So Gaijin decided to add 7 104s. A lot of them are basically the same plane, like all the G's and the J, they are basically the same plane except for the ornament. The A in the US as well as in the Chinese line are the exact same plane except for the roundels and the skin. And the C is a little bit different, but it's also at 9.7. So I want to go through all the 104s in this video, rank them at what they're the best at and what they're the worst at, and then you can kind of make up your own mind. As of right now, I just had some games where my 9.7 got up tiered to 10.3. Keep this in mind, the hard lock is not there anymore. So if you fly the 9.71, expect to get up tiered at least, say 40% of the time. And if that's actually the case, you're probably better off flying something like the 104G from the Chinese line, because it has AIM-9Js. To get into the video, let's start off with the 104 A's. They are the lightest, but they also have the least amount of thrust. They only have 2 AIM-9Bs, not the best, but it's 9.7. If you get down tier to 8.7, you're going to clean house as long as your team stays alive. And this goes for all 104s, because they're not the best turning planes. Of course, you can drop the slats when you are going above 1200, I believe they start to rip. Below that, anywhere is safe. So this is the first one you will be flying. The lightest one, the most maneuverable, but it also has the least amount of thrust. Then we go to the 104C, exact same loadout, same deal with the flats as goes for all of the 104s, but they're all basically the same thing. This thing is a little bit heavier by 200 kg, but it also has a stronger engine which compensates for it, and especially from the runway, you're gonna see the difference once this thing is spaded. This thing spaded has about the same acceleration as this thing half stock, to put that into perspective, but it's a bit heavier. So it turns worse than the 104As, as well as this Chinese one, which is the exact same. I didn't crew it, because no one cares about the same plane twice. So as of right now, for the 9.7 104s, you basically just want to look at these two. The C is better. It has a bit less fuel, but there's more thrust. It overheats less, and it keeps its energy a little bit better in the verticals. Of course, the A turns just that little bit extra, but this thing has so much more thrust. And just the overheating issue that the 104 has, you're not gonna have fun with that. You don't want to start turning with the 104 anyway. So I think the trade-off of having just a little bit less turn to trade it in for something the 104 is already good at and making it even better is, I think, more beneficial than having a little bit of extra turn. And just the overheat is really annoying on this thing, because after like 15 to 10 minutes, no, that's less, like 8 minutes, you will start blinking and you really have to lay off the afterburner sometimes. And of course this thing has the aerial refueling port, but of course you can't use that in the War Thunder. And then we have the 4 104s at 10.0. The 104G is a little bit heavier than the C, it carries a little bit more fuel than the C in terms of weight. The engine also uses more fuel because it's a lot stronger. So effectively you only have 2 minutes more, so it's 31 minutes versus the 28 on the C. But it's heavier, it's just overall it's heavier, has a stronger engine, so it's better at being fast and worse at being a turny boy, which is exactly what the 104 is good at. And then the G on the Chinese line and the J on the Japanese line have the exact same flight model, so don't worry about that. The weapons, this thing has 4 AIM-9B FGW2s, and I'm sorry to inform you, but they are the exact same missiles as the AIM-9Bs in game at the moment. They are different in real life. They have the AIM-9E seeker head, but in game it's not present at the moment. It also has the AS-20 Nord, so if you like those kind of weapons, this thing has a bit of an edge on the 104J, but other than that it's inferior in almost every metric. Of course, having more missiles, because the J only has 2, it's really ugly with the fuselage mounted guns or missiles, but it had the wingtip fuel tank, so they had to be there. It has the E's, but it only has 2. The E's don't lead that much to begin with, so I think you're actually better off with the German one, considering it has 4 AIM-9Bs, not the best missiles, not at all, but I think 4 of them is better than 2 of these, because the AIM-9Es aren't that much better to begin with. And then we get the Chinese one, which is a glorified missile boat. It's a lot, well, it's the same plane, but it has AIM-9Js, which are effectively the best missiles in the game right now. Some of the best missiles in the game right now, because we just got it added, some of the, well, the Mirage finally. And those missiles are definitely a leg up over this, but you got 4 of them on a missile slab. It's for you to decide. It's quite obvious which one is the best out of these three. But we also got the 104S. So as we'll be used to for now, we got the 104S. Strongest engine, heaviest frame, most amount of fuel, most amount of missiles. It has 6 AIM-9Bs, is the fastest, best accelerating, worst turning F-104. It also has some of the worst missiles, but at least it got 6. The ground ordnance of this thing is a lot better than the other ones. So the Italians actually get a supersonic ground pounder now, which is good considering that they only have the G91YS, well, before this patch. So it's up for you to decide which 104 you think is the best. In terms of performance, definitely this. In terms of missiles, definitely the G. And in terms of all around BR, guns, missiles, everything together, the 104C will actually be the best one, just because it will get down tiered just that little bit extra over the 10.0 ones. The 10.0 ones will be sucked up into 10.3 a lot. They might get down tiered to 10 or to 9.0, and these things will club the everlasting fuck out of every 9.0. But this thing already does that, and you will get down tiered a lot more. So as annoying this thing is to fly, versus 9.0s, versus 8.7s, versus 9.3s. It's basically as annoying as it is to fight, and these things should definitely go up to 10.0. All of them should be 10.0, and if that ever happens and these things are not 10.0 anymore, these two will be absolutely obsolete. Well, at least this thing will turn a little bit, and then it will be a contest between the Chinese G as well as the Italian S. And there you have it. I hope this clears up these 104s, because there's so many of them. I can understand why it's a bit convoluted, and I can understand why it's a bit, well, it can kind of be distracting. There's so many little things, but all in all, they're basically the same plane. I hope this made you make up your mind. And if you have different experience with the AIM-9Es as I do, if you use the AIM-9Es differently than I do, then maybe yes, the Japanese one is better. But I think with everything that I said, there are not more differences. You don't have to worry about teams because it's mixed, so you only have to care about what I just said basically. And if I missed anything, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I will put it all in the pinned message. So if there's anything different, if anything gets changed, I will put it in the comment section and it will be pinned. Hope that helped. Hope you enjoy your Monday, start of the week, and you will see me very soon with some actual gameplay on these planes.